You're looking for Predator, aren't you?
Yes.
Ah,
Hey y'all, welcome to Ryan and Robert Rants. We are continuing our ranked series for the Predator universe.
Yeah.
And we finally have the next installment. Thank y'all so much for your patience. We greatly appreciate it. It has been a fun couple of weeks, but we are continuing. And Robert, which one do we have on the list?
We are going to be doing The Predator. This one came out in 2018, directed by Shane Black from Iron Man 3 fame. He was also an actor in the first Predator film, but it also stars Boyd Holbrook as, I guess, the main protagonist of this film.
Yeah. The Predator 2018. We're finally getting into modern times with the Predator universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Robert said, we're going to be discussing this with the Rank series. If you haven't seen any of the Rank series episodes, definitely check out the previous ones. We like to discuss the movies in detail. So with this one, we're going to be doing a little plot synopsis at the beginning, just talking about what the movie is generally. We're going to talk about what worked for us, what didn't work. We'll do a final thoughts and an out of 10 rating. And then finally, we will tie it all up with Robert's brainchild, the whole reason this series exists, the tier list. Where does the Predator rank for us in the Predator universe? We will find out shortly. But first, before we get started, we are going to spoil this movie. So if you haven't seen it already, definitely check it out. And again, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, we have reacted going all the way back to the original Predator from 87 all the way up to now. Definitely check those out as well. But we're going to jump straight right into it with the plot synopsis. Robert, tell me about this movie. What's this movie about?
All right. Always like to keep these short, but I never end up succeeding in that. So,
Not for a lack of trying. Not for a lack
I.
of trying, dude.
But all right. So, a predator ship. So this is the Predator. A predator ship crash lands on Earth. Army Ranger sniper Quinn McKenna, played by Boyd Holbrook, and his team are attacked by the Predator on a hostage retrieval mission. McKenna incapacitates the Predator, and his armor. He mails it. He mails it off, right? Um, at the behest of government agent Will Traeger, who's played by Sterling K. Brown, he's the director of the Stargazer Project, if I remember. Anyways, he kind of like I guess arrests Quinn or kind of holds him for questioning and examination. Traeger he also takes the Predator to a lab for experimentation and observation, recruiting evolutionary biologist Casey Brackett, who is played by Olivia Munn. She's basically hired to study it. Casey suggests that the predator DNA is exactly like human DNA, which kind of at the beginning you're like, huh? But Traeger wants to know if the human DNA is derived from the predator DNA. They also determined that the predator ship was an escape pod, so they wonder where the actual like mothership is. Casey also wants to speak to Quinn, who made first contact with the predator, just to, just to get further study of this Yautja. As the predator awakes and breaks out of its bonds, it begins to kill basically the entire lab, all the workers, but it spares Brackett um, before leaving the facility. The armor that Quinn mailed has reached Quinn's autistic son Rory, who has activated the guidance systems and messes with the mothership controls as it enters the Earth's atmosphere. Because I mean, he's a child, I guess, but yeah, he's just an autistic kid, curious. He also has like an innate kind of ability to, I guess, understand this alien kind of tech or whatever. Um, but Rory, he ends up deactivating the cloak, and the alien mothership is now pursued by Air Force jets. The Predator uses a different helmet at the facility to activate his own helmet's camera to figure out that Rory has it and kind of discovers where Rory is. The mothership lands, and the Predator inside releases a pair of Predator dogs to track the missing equipment, which is Rory. Um, McKenna, who is put in a bus with a group of other government captives. This is kind of where we fill out our supporting cast, but we got ex-Marine Gaylord Nebraska Williams, played by Trevante Rhodes. We got military veterans Coyle, who's played by Keegan Michael Key, and Baxley, who's played by Thomas Jane. In my opinion, the best for the best one in this whole movie, and I'll get to that. But we also got helicopter pilot Nettles, played by Augusto Aguilera, and Lynch, played by Alfie Allen, who you may know from Game of Thrones, um, who's just another ex-Marine. Seeing the Predator escape from the lab firsthand, he's kind of just like there. But anyway,
Yeah.
seeing the Predator escape from the lab firsthand, they take over the bus. Casey tells McKenna that she saw the Predator escape and that he is looking for his missing armor or weapons. Taking Brackett with them, they head over to McKenna's estranged wife, Emily, played by Yvonne Strahovski. I never knew how to pronounce her name. She's from Chuck, the blonde woman from Chuck.
Sarah from Chuck.
Exactly. Um, where they expect to find the Predator armor he mailed off. However, McKenna's autistic son Rory, he went trick or treating because I guess it's Halloween, but he went trick or treating wearing this gigantic helmet that's pretty much almost half his size, wearing across his head. Uh, but yes, he's kind of using it to avoid. He gets being different. He kind of gets bullied in school, so he's wearing the helmet to kind of go trick or treating without being, I guess, bullied from the other kids in his school because kids are assholes.
Yeah.
McKenna,
Can confirm.
yeah, McKenna and the others find his son just in time to stop the predator dogs from ambushing the boy. The predator chases them into a nearby school. They start to give the predator's armor back when another larger predator and I mean he's like twice the size of a normal Yautja.
Yeah.
He kind of arrives and basically it's no competition. He kills the first predator. Low difficulty, just gone. Everyone flees, and the second predator sets out to retrieve the lost technology. Brackett concludes that the predators are attempting to improve themselves with the DNA of humans and presumably other planets' inhabitants. So this is kind of where we get the, I guess, DNA splicing. They kind of seek out the best and most formidable species on other planets to kind of, I guess, better themselves. We haven't exactly seen this at all within the Predator universe, so this is something kind of new I guess to the overall mythos and lore. But the team flees to an abandoned barn, but Traeger finds them, captures them, and shares this theory that the predators anticipate that climate change will end their ability to retrieve human DNA for further hybridization. So they are scrambling to retrieve the best human DNA before it is too late, so that they can basically adapt themselves. Traeger also tells Casey that the dead predator was a rogue, and maybe he was bringing them, the humans, some technology to try and stop the other Yautja. Seeing Rory drawing a map to the rogue spaceship, Traeger takes the boy away to go to the ship. The team escapes and goes after them with the help of one of the predator dogs. Kind of gets shot point blank, so it basically got lobotomized. So now the predator dog is like kind of like friendly towards Olivia Munn's character, kind of loyal. And I guess you just got to lobotomize some people or some you know.
You said what you said.
And sometimes the old ways are the best ways. When all are at the crash predator ship, the second kind of hybrid mutated large predator arrives, kills Lynch, and explains through translation software that it will blow up the ship to keep it out of their hands and then give them all a head start before it hunts them all down. The predator quickly kills off most of the team. Traeger tries to use a predator weapon on the alien, but accidentally kills himself in the process, which was the most random death in the entire movie. Probably the franchise. It was just, I don't know, didn't make sense. Still, after this rewatch, I still don't get it. It just, I don't know. Anyways, I'll get into it. The predator ends up taking Rory, presumably because his autism reflects an advancement in human evolution, and is therefore worthwhile in the predator hybridization. And they all begin to fly away on his ship. McKenna, Nebraska, and Nettles basically the last three surviving members of the team. They land on the ship's exterior, but the Predator activates a force field. This slices Nettles' legs off. Sorry, it was just we just
Yeah. It looks really bad.
he just flies off the ship. And somehow Olivia Munn from like 4 miles away can pinpoint exactly who it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, but Nebraska ends up sacrificing himself and slides into the ship's turbine, causing it to crash. McKenna sneaks onto the ship as it crashes and basically attacks the Predator. After the crash, Brackett arrives and the three overpower and kill this, 12-foot tall Yautja. They pay their respects to their fallen comrades with trinkets representing each one before heading off. After the events, I think it was like a kind of like a post credit or kind of like a mid credits. I can't remember honestly.
It's right at the
McKenna,
end.
yeah, McKenna and Roy, they're seen in a science lab, watching the opening of a cargo found on the Predator ship. This was the technology that they were suspecting that the first Predator was bringing to them, but it basically this technology kind of floats out and attaches itself to a lab worker, transforming it itself into like kind of a suit that they dub the Predator Killer. And of course, McKenna has the line to end the film saying, "I think I just found my new suit" or something like that. And it was that's how the movie ends. Kind of potentially setting up further sequels after this, but
Oh,
given the
difficult to finish.
reception and the box office, yeah. But that is this movie in a nutshell, or pretty much the entire movie. Not even a nutshell.
Very nice. Very nice
I try.
synopsis. That was good, man. I mean, you hit all the points. It's literally exactly how the movie goes. So, what worked for you?
I mean, okay, so I do like
The
the
pause.
yeah. So
Whoa.
I remember seeing this in theater again. So I don't remember exactly when I saw Predator or Predator 2. I remember seeing AVP and AVP Requiem. I'm almost certain that I saw those two before I fully saw the first two Predator movies. So that was kind of like my introduction. Like I knew what the species looked like and stuff like that. And I've seen bits and pieces of both the first two movies, but I don't think I ever saw those movies in complete, you know, from start to finish, probably not until maybe 15 years ago. So I don't even know if it slots in like right after Predators or whatever. So I mean, so seeing this one, I remember thinking that okay, the cast, right, the supporting cast was most of them they were fun, right? They brought that comedic element to the supporting cast that we kind of were lacking in all of the even in the first one with like Jesse Ventura and even Shane Black's character. They brought kind of like this I don't like a kind of a raunchy humor, the humor that definitely wouldn't fly in today's movies, right? And
Slap
then even
jaw.
yeah, yeah. But like it was just like that, that it was then like that machismo kind of humor where pretty much every guy would laugh and find humor out of it. And this one, you kind of get that Shane Black level humor kind of brought back that we were lacking from the first one. Even with when Nettles was like, "Hey, you can't say that word because his son is
Yeah.
the yeah, yeah,
Don't call him
yeah, yeah, his son
that.
is." And then like Thomas Jane by far has like the funniest line in the whole movie when he walks in. What was it? They like in a bus or RV or whatever it was when he
Yeah.
walks in and they like got startled and pointed a gun at because he has the stuttering and he's just like oh and he's just like oh fuck my face with an aardvark.
Yeah. And Olivia
And I
Munn's like, hey, she has this face where she's like,
and like I completely forgot that line was in the movie, and when I rewatched it, I just was dying laughing. And my girlfriend hadn't seen this movie at all, didn't even know this movie existed. So that should tell you a little bit about this movie. But when she also heard it, she was laughing. Um, but Keegan Peele is he's always kind of brings that
Keegan
kind of
Michael
like
Key.
yeah that guy yeah Key and Peele. But yeah, he always brings kind of like a comedic element where his characters are always kind of, it's like a serious comedy, right? Where his character is serious, but it's played off as comedy, right? And it's something like he does in all of his roles, and I think he does it extremely well. He kind of gets typecasted in those roles, but I mean, I think he does it really well in this movie for sure. Other than that, I mean, I guess the brutality of
I
some of
love
the
that you were
kills,
trying to
right? But
find it.
like,
I guess the brutality.
I mean, it's definitely not AVP Requiem, right? Like, or
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, it's definitely not that. But I mean, this movie is definitely rated R. We as we get further into, they kind of like make the more PG-13. But you know, I think this is for sure the last. I mean, unless you count, I don't really know what they rated. What is the animated one? I'm drawing a blank.
Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers, man. I don't. Yeah, I was just drawing a blank. I don't know what they kind of rated that, but
That one I
um,
believe is R. Let me
yeah.
look that up.
But I mean, honestly, I like the
Yep, rated R.
concept. I like the concept of, I guess, hybridization. You know, you again, but it's something where they don't explore. We just get bits and pieces of like the overall Yautja lore. If unless you're reading expanded media, which I don't, outside of the original Alien versus Predator novels, which I read like 20 years ago. There's not there, you know, I don't know much about the lore outside of the movies, and the problem is we only get like bits and pieces here, and like we got rarely anything from the first one. Predator 2 kind of opened it up, and then AVP did whatever it wanted to do. And then we actually got a little bit about in Predators. I believe it was kind of like a throwaway line where how they were talking about they were always bringing the humans there,
Yeah.
um, because they said something about the climate on Earth, and they kind of brought it back again in this film. So we kind of got a continuation of just a little bit of a thread, right? But we just
Yeah.
don't have up until this point a lot of like what the Yautja is all about. So to bring in this kind of hybridization, it just seems like it's an okay concept, but it's not explored to the level of how where it would make the plot of it better. So it's kind of just like an added thing just to make this, like, I guess, new version of the Yautja like 12 feet tall and just like the most, I guess, predator of predators like you can even think of, right? Because oh,
Yeah.
we fought like 7 foot predators and you know all this other stuff and whatever. What's going to make it an even better adversary? Let's make them like 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
But other than that, to me, there's not a whole lot for me about this movie that works. How about you?
So, first off, thank you. And yeah, I'm actually in agreement with you. There's not a lot for me that I have. The runtime, like I've said with the previous ones, this one's about an hour 40 when the credits start. So that's the sweet spot. This is where these movies need to be. They don't need to be any longer than that. My favorite scene, probably my favorite scene in the entire movie. It made me laugh the first time I saw it because I also saw it opening night in theaters. I had just gotten off of work and I just walked right into the auditorium and sat down. I was like, all right, Predator, let's go. So it's my favorite scene in the movie. Still holds up, still makes me laugh, and it's the last thing you think it would be. But I think it's the funniest thing in the movie. It's when Olivia Munn's character falls off the bus when after she shoots herself in the foot when he turns to try to catch her and then he turns around and you just see her body like fall straight down. Still makes it. It's just the thud. Just look. It's also how it looks. Like, it's just like the perfect fall. It's just like,
Yeah.
so I mean that's like I said, what worked for me. The score is pretty good. Henry Jackman does a good job. I'm so glad that we didn't get a bunch of pop songs like one after the other for this movie because this is around the time when they were doing that in movies,
Yeah.
and I'm glad they didn't fall into that trap because again, the score is pretty good for the movie. Like it feels like, oh yeah, this is like an action adventure, sci-fi sort of feel to it, and he's really good with it. If I remember correctly, he did the. No, he didn't do the score for the X-Men movie. I don't remember what he did the score for, but I know I've seen his name pop up in other movies, and I know I've liked it before. But like you said with the supporting cast, I mean, they're decent. They're there. They're serviceable. And the practical effects, those practical effects that were used, are pretty good here,
Yes,
and
yes.
I do enjoy that. And that's all I have for what worked. But let's switch gears because I feel like this one's gonna be pretty weighty. What didn't work for you, Robert?
Pretty much everything else. I mean,
The rest of the movie.
yeah, I mean, like Sterling K. Brown, like he's such a good actor, and you kind of just have them like this playing this. I don't even want to say like, how would you even describe it? Aloof, kind of, just like thinking,
It's almost like he's playing himself, but if he was like
yeah,
an aloof asshole.
yeah, like just
like like an exact
having a
like
quirk
when
of
actors play
always chewing
themselves in
gum.
movies when they're like, oh yeah, this is who they are, but it's like an over
Yeah,
exaggerated, like over
like
the
a
top version of it.
caricature, like you would find in like Entourage or something, right? Like,
Yes, yeah, that is the best way to
like
describe it.
um, who
Yeah.
was it?
Like James Woods.
That or Eric Roberts.
Oh god.
But
Yeah, just like
um,
over the top, like
yeah.
he has a
Hey,
response for everything, and like every other word out of his mouth is pretty much fuck.
yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna have this quirk where I'm just always chewing gum, and I don't know,
Yeah.
like again, like his death, like he has the shoulder thing, the shoulder cannon, and all of a sudden it turns somehow, like again, the
Because
gun
she yells
sticks
his
out,
name and
and
then
then
he
it
turns
turns
and
and just
looks at her.
shoots it. But like the
Yeah.
way it's edited or something, like it just and it's kind of it's a night scene, so it's dark, so it just you're like, wait, did that just happen? Like he doesn't even get like a cool death or like I mean I guess I don't know if his character deserved it, but like he's kind of like a dick throughout the whole thing. So you kind of wanted to see the predator like do something, right? Not just
Yeah. Get his
I don't know
comeuppance.
negligence, right? Or what? I don't know. Yeah, and then I don't Olivia Munn's character. I don't understand. Okay, she's a evolutionary biologist, so she gets brought into this lab as a a doctor, but then when the Yautja escapes, she grabs what I think is like some kind of a gun. And then like was it a trank dart or something to draw
Yeah,
its blood or
it's
something, right? Like
the
to
trank gun.
yeah. And then she's like chasing it on the roof, like this catwalk on the roof. And I'm like, what is your motive? I mean, I get you're a scientist, you would like to study, but do you have any kind of training to deal with anything like this? Like, I doubt you have any kind of training to deal with like a rogue like soldier, let alone a alien species that could murder you with incredible ease. I just I don't know if they were like if she kind of went in like, no, I want my character to be also a badass or something
Yeah.
like I don't want to just be that scientist, right? Like I gotta have like this part, and I'm like, it just I don't know, it didn't work for me for a character, like it just didn't make sense. Um, what else? What else? What else? I mean, I think I kind of talked about the messy plot, or like I guess the hybridization. Like I said, it was a decent concept, but it was just they didn't focus too much on it, or at least they didn't focus enough to make it where it was interesting to the point where it would be added, like it would be value added to the plot, right? Like, okay, what part of the Yautja lore is it? I mean, I get it that this Yautja being like a high like he's kind of going against, I guess, the Yautja code, which we've kind of already established. I guess it's a code, but it's also a code that makes everything totally unfair to their whatever they're hunting, which is kind of again commentary on humans. But it just I don't know. Again, we just at this point, if you go just based on the movies, there's not much to the lore to like kind of warrant this plot thread, like unless you're going to explore it like fully, and maybe they were going to and they just didn't get a shot, but you're not going to get a shot if you don't make the first movie like coherently not messy, right? Like the whole plot. And I think I mean, you said the runtime was good, but I felt like the third act was kind of rushed a little bit, if that's possible. Like we get a lot of build up in the first two, and it just kind of comes to an end. Like I get it. He kind of dispatches like everybody with incredible ease, but we also don't have that sense of dread of being hunted. Like we get the
Yeah.
dogs, which the CG on the dogs was. I guess it was okay. It could have been better, maybe with a better budget. But I don't know what the budget for this movie was. I can look it up, but that's another thing. We always have like the practical effects for the outship people in suits and probably can't. I don't know if the 12. Well, I don't even know how tall he is. I keep calling him 12 feet because he made the other one look like I don't know. It's like me standing against like you know 7'5" people from the NBA or whatever. But yeah, the CGI on him did not look great, and that's probably why he was only kind of shown in like a lot of the night scenes, right? They probably saved what they could for the final fight when the day was breaking. But other than that, like I said, I could. There's a lot that just didn't work, but those are the main takeaways. Again, whatever I didn't say that worked didn't work for me, right? So it was kind of a mess of a film. Is there entertainment? Is there some entertainment value to it? Sure, but structurally it's a kind of a mess. How about you?
I agree with a lot of what you said. Some of it you actually did touch on. I'm not gonna say the first thing I was gonna say. I'm gonna skip that and I'll save it for the end. Um, the CGI is so bad. It's so freaking bad, especially at the end of the movie when they do take out the final predator, the hunter. Um, it just looks atrocious. It just looks horrible. I didn't really care for the subtitles for the predator. The Yacha that we get at the beginning. We don't need them to speak.
Yeah,
We don't need to know. We don't need to understand what they're saying. Like it took me out of it for that. Sterling K. Brown was wasted.
for sure.
Wasted in this movie. Because like you said, an actor of his caliber, the way that they went about it, like, yeah, you can have that character, but the his death scene, yes, she says his name and then he turns and so does the thing. And then because the like you said, the first time I saw that I was like, wait, hold up, what?
Yeah,
What? He's gone. But again, that scene is so dark too. Like you can't see anything. Like it's worse
no.
than AVP Requiem. Like at least with that you could make out what was going on. This has that modern day dark where it's dark and it's hazy at the same time,
Yeah,
so you can't like see anything of what's going on. But I will say that his death does stick with the Shane Black twist. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Where if like you're gonna like kill a character off randomly out of nowhere, like that's something that would happen in a Shane Black movie. The thing that I had saved for last, I think is probably the biggest issue. And it's actually gonna go and tie in with being the same issue that I had with one of the previous entries that we did.
ooh,
I can't buy Boyd Holbrook as a lead in this movie. Just like I felt with Brody, I cannot buy him as the heavy. He is a great supporting actor. I loved him in Logan. He's a good like
yeah,
secondary bad guy. But they tried so hard to make his character too modern day macho. And that's an
yeah,
issue for this. Like he's just like gruff and like, yeah, I'm a hard ass, and like I wrote down some of the lines he has in here that I'll go over in a second. But yeah, that was a huge issue for me. That took me out of the movie. It was noticeable back then when I first saw this, but watching it now for the rewatch, like yeah, it's really noticeable. I didn't know this until I had read the trivia though, but Benicio del Toro was supposed to star in the
oh
movie.
really?
Yeah, but he had prior engagements. Probably would have been a better choice. It
Maybe.
would
I
have
mean,
been
I could kind
it's
of,
different, but I mean
yeah.
that'd be great. Benicio, dude, in a
I
freaking
mean,
Predator movie.
he's for sure a more of a lead. I don't know if
Yeah.
maybe
Sicario,
more
dude.
like, well, like
Sicario.
I could think of maybe he'd be like a more of a Danny Glover type role.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
like Boyd Holbrook tried to be more like Arnold, right? And I could see maybe a
yeah,
Benicio being more of a an older, seasoned, more probably uses his smarts like street smarts or something like that, as opposed to
yeah.
just trying to out macho a predator. Yeah,
Or put him in that macho role. Let's see if he can do it. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
Sicario, like he can.
I know
I
he's
love those movies, dude.
Sicario's. Yeah, that one was good.
And he
I
showed like he's menacing in those freaking movies.
I think with I think what Logan came out in 2017. This one was 2018. So they're probably like, he kind of came out with that one. They're, he I mean, like you said, loved him in Logan. He definitely had the.
He was in Hell or High Water, right? Was
I
he?
know I've seen it. And I really enjoy it, but I just distinctly remember, Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine, or was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, and then was it Ben Foster? I think.
Oh, he was Johnny Cash in A Complete Unknown,
Oh, really? Well, I haven't seen.
which makes sense. He would be in there. I mean, James Mangold. So
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But
same. It's been
um,
on the list forever. Oh, he was in The Bike Riders. I forgot he was in Dial of Destiny,
that's
but
right, he was.
I just sort of forget that movie in general.
Hmm. I haven't seen. Yeah, yeah. I had such high hopes for that. That's another James Mangold one too, right?
Which one?
Dial of Destiny, right?
Oh my God, it is. Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I had such high hopes for that one.
Oh, he was in Hatfield and McCoy's. I don't know if you ever saw that miniseries with Bill
No.
Paxton, R.I.P. and Kevin
Oh
Costner.
man.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And he was in Milk. Looks like that was his first movie, actually.
Milk was pretty good.
Yeah, I. And then
Gus Van
Narcos, of
Sant.
course, which he was good in Narcos. I will give him that. He was really good in Narcos.
Boyd
It shows.
Holbrook. He was
Yeah.
also, I think, if I remember right, he was in the recent Justified.
Yep. 8 episodes.
uh
City Primeval.
yeah, he kind of played like a serious psychopath.
Ooh. See, I mean, he's good at like
Yeah,
that sort of role, but again, it's like with this one that this just felt like run of the mill, like
yeah,
your modern day archetype of this is what the leading man is, and I couldn't buy it for this. It was just too hammy. But again, you can also blame the dialogue too, because the lines he's
yeah.
given, they're so bad. Which, speaking of, here's some general notes that I took. Um, so the sign outside of the school, the Lawrence A. Gordon Middle School, the sign with the parents and students, but students is spelled STDs, Shane Black. Then we get John Hopkins University, Maryland, Canada. I'm pretty sure that it is not the actual John Hopkins University. It just looks like a park with the side of a building. Dr. Olivia Munn, which made me laugh. There was a line when they're inside the car and she's driving with that guy. He says, they've been here before. 87, 97. Lately, the visits are increasing in frequency. And then it cuts to the next scene immediately. So, is that them acknowledging AVP? According to the trivia, though, it was decanonized from Alien, but never confirmed or denied from the Predator universe.
Hmm.
So, AVP might actually take place there. Now, there's a scene when they show Rory in the basement, stuff like that, after his mom gets home, and it shows a stack of his books. And she's like, "Oh, did you do one of these after school?" "I did all of them." That's what he says. And I actually looked at what the books were. So, again, this is, you know, trying a little too hard to show you. Look, he's autistic.
Yeah.
German grammar skills. Spanish verb tenses, basic Chinese.
So it's
So
kind of like leading the way that, hey, he's good with languages or whatever.
yeah, but he did all of them
All of
according
them,
to
yeah.
yeah. So there's that. The costumes from the Target bag that she pulls out. She's like Frankenstein's monster or the pirate. And they're just as shitty, so they gotta be legit from there because they definitely look like stuff we would have backstocked. Yes, let me see. I don't know why. Oh, the VA in Tennessee. So when they cut to the actual VA in Tennessee, and he's getting what is it? I guess audited or looked over by the therapist or whoever it is that he's talking to. There's a line in there. He said, "You were once quoted as saying." I dropped from my mother's womb, I hit the floor, and I started crawling through hostile territory toward my grave. And immediately it cuts to Sterling K. Brown. He's like, that's badass. That's pretty morbid. It's
Yeah.
pretty dark. Again, they're trying so hard to butch him up.
Yeah.
So hard with stuff like that. And yes, you did have your line, fuck me in the face with the aardvark. Olivia Munn's face after. Again, like the second funny thing she does, she just goes,
It was just a stutter. He was like, oh, and he was just like, yeah, and then he says the line. I was just like, it's just so random.
One thing that is glossed over in this movie, and it never comes back. Rory killed a guy.
Oh, with the house, right? When he
Yes, with
when
the
he shoots
suicide
it.
silence playing in the
Yeah.
background. um, yeah, and then there's when Sterling K. Brown's trying on the thing, and that guy's like, "I'd be careful with that, sir." Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's another line I had. Thomas Jane. He's like, there was a line that Thomas Jane had that I forgot about. It's I think it's when they're all talking. He's like, "What's to learn except that William sucks at shooting shit in the head?" I think it was right after they lobotomized the dog, and then it just cuts him. He has like that grin on his face. That hostess Twinkie line from Sterling K. Brown is such a time capsule when he talks about like, do you remember how the Twinkies were going
Yep.
out of extinction or something like that? Let's see what else. Oh yeah, another stupid line. You two never read my file, did you? What makes you say that? Cause you two morons are making plans for tomorrow. Ugh. Let's see. She is the only one that kills someone at the farmhouse. Everybody else, they just knock them out. She's the only one that kills a guy there. They go from not killing the guys at the farmhouse to killing them the very next scene. Let's see what else. Another line. If Captain, oh yeah, Sterling K. Brown. If Captain McKenna doesn't lower his weapon in the next 10 seconds, shoot the kid's knees out. That worked for you. Great line. Great
Yeah.
line. Let's see. William. Oh yeah, Williams. When he's covering him from the ledge when they're in the canyon, and he takes the lights out, or he takes the guy out, and he says, "You ain't the only fucking sniper, white boy." And then he takes the drag from the cigarette. Great line. Great line. Um, Nettles has to be alive. There's no way he's dead from that. They just leave
No?
it there. He's just assumed dead. He could
Oh
have
yeah.
survived that. Bled out, probably. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just his legs, because when they're
But he also
freaking...
falls.
Yes, but also when the ship's crashing, freaking McKenna's like, like, getting hit by that, then he falls down. He miraculously lives through that, getting ragdolled without his leg getting torn off from that thing. So, I mean, you're telling me Nettles can't survive
Oh,
that?
his leg definitely should have been.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like just dangled off. He should be
He doesn't
one
have plot
legged.
armor. Nettles didn't have plot
Exactly.
armor.
Yeah, not enough apparently.
unless
Speaking
unless it was
of,
only his legs that didn't have the plot
yeah.
armor.
And then yeah, like you said, the final freaking line of the movie. That's my new suit,
Yeah.
Bubba. I hope they got I hope they got it in a 42 long. The hardest groan for me and eye roll, just ugh. But yeah, those are the notes I have. That is what didn't work for me though. Now, let's talk final thoughts. What is your out of 10 rating for this movie, Robert?
Man, considering I don't really remember what I gave everything else, I really should have been writing this down. Um, again, there is some entertainment that I guess the hardcore Predator fans, if you can call them fans, if you're not a hardcore Predator fan, um, might find some, at least some entertainment value. Like you said, it's an hour and 40 minutes. Maybe it's a decent way to kill time if you haven't seen it. I mean, I'd always say to give it a shot. But again, from start to finish, it's structurally a mess. It's kind of uneven, both in plot and pacing. Um, again, some of the dialogue works, some of the dialogue doesn't work, and the dialogue that doesn't work, it doesn't matter how you deliver it, it's always going to come off as cringe. Some of the characters didn't weren't there for me. Some of them, were like Thomas Jane and Key's characters. I really did enjoy in this movie. Nebraska wasn't bad. Um, Pretty much everyone else was just kind of whatever. Um, so for that, I think I don't know, like I don't think I can go too high for this. I'd probably give it like maybe a 3.5 out of 10. If I wanted to give it a maybe a 4,
Dang.
maybe a 4. I remember when I first saw this, I thought it was an okay movie, but then
Yeah.
again, after rewatching everything else again, and then especially watching, okay, I'll just say watching everything else. This is why we do these rewatches, right? Because we've already seen most of them. At least for me, I've seen all of them. But then you go back and rewatch, and be like, all right, now I'm gonna like really dissect these movies, and then you're like, all right, when you get to this one, you're just like, I can kind of see why this one was a divisive entry, wasn't up to everyone's standard of what a Predator movie should be, and stuff like that. Like I can kind of see what worked, mostly what didn't work. But so if I'm being generous, I'd give it a 4 out of 10, but I'd probably settle more on the 3.5. But we'll go 4 out of 10. Final answer,
Wow.
4 out of 10.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
when I first saw that, I agree with again a lot of what you said. When I first saw this movie in theaters, it played well for me at that time. Watching it this go around, it's just so glaring what doesn't work.
Yep.
Now, again, the supporting cast does a great job, but Holbrook is just all over the place with this. Again, they try to make him the macho heavy, but modern, and it just comes off like trying too hard. The bus scene encapsulate this when he tells them to shut up, and they just laugh at him. It's like, I'm with you, fellas. Great as a support, but you needed somebody else in the lead. The movie itself, for how short it is, feels much longer. The dialogue is sometimes it works, but other times not so. The CGI, like I said, is just bad and it's overused. Not the worst movie in my opinion in the franchise, but I don't plan on watching this one anytime soon. So, that being said, I'm going to give this one a 5.5 out of 10. So, there's still some
Very
stuff that
nice.
redeems it, but I don't think it's the worst one. So,
Very nice.
that being said, let us switch gears and let us talk tier list.
Boom.
Robert, where is the Predator for you on the tier list?
I will say, in terms of movie posters, this it might be my favorite. I think that orange just pops.
It does.
That negative space just I don't know, it just pops for me. So it might be probably my favorite. But that doesn't mean it's my favorite movie, obviously. So I guess it's just gonna come down to where is it gonna slot with me in terms of all the AVP movies, right? I think I gave the AVP movies a slightly higher rating. So I think, in my opinion, I'd much rather watch those movies, especially if I watch them back to back.
Uh-huh.
Um, I would probably watch those before I watch this one again. So that being said, no suspense necessary. We're going to go ahead and slot this one in the D tier.
Nice. So, my turn. Where does this fit for me? So, I'm in the same predicament. The only thing is, I feel like it has a slight edge to where I think it is. Like, and I already prefaced by saying I don't think it's the worst one. I
Yeah.
actually think that's still reserved for Predators because, again, they're very similar movies, which is the crazy thing. They're very similar to where they have strong supporting casts, but their lead sucks as the lead. Again, not bad actors. They're either just miscast or the script is not doing them any favors.
Yeah.
And again, I mean it's understandable when you have like, your Arnold who is like, your main guy and you're constantly trying to chase that, which I honestly thought that's how the movie was going to end in some way or form because they keep teasing what's in this thing, what's in this thing. And when you find out that's all it is and then they call it the Predator Killer, they don't even give it like a
Yeah.
cool name or something like that. It falls flat. It's like, no, like why? Like why would I want to see a sequel? And thank God we did not get a continuation of this cuz
Right.
I don't think I could have sat through it. It's just
This would have been the genesis of this could have been the genesis of, like, had they done it, you know how, in the later films we see the characters all like frozen or whatever it is, they're kind of like, we
yeah.
see
Oh
Dutch,
God,
and right, this could have been
no,
the genesis of that.
no. Oh God, no.
Right.
Why did you put that in my mind?
But it's okay, we just get a suit.
I said, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But can you, like, I just now I'm just picturing like a de-aged Arnold, a la like Terminator Salvation, just CGI, a de-aged Dutch.
No, no. Oh, it
I
looks
am
so
the Predator
bad.
Killer.
But it's still playing the Terminator
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. Dun,
But
dun,
yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun.
that's where I'm sitting though. I don't really have too much more to say about this one. What about you?
Nope. Just, we're gearing up for the Dan Trachtenberg era now.
I know. Soon, soon. But until then,
Yep.
thank y'all so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. And thank y'all for your patience on this. We're still trucking along, a lot of work between us, but hey, we're making it work. And we want to make sure that this gets the necessary care that it deserves and that y'all deserve to witness. So, thank you again for your patience. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. By this time, I don't know if this will be coming out on New Year's or after, but thank y'all so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. And as Robert always says, get down in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. What do you think about where we ranked this? Do you think we were wrong? Do you feel like, hey, this is actually my favorite Predator movie? Or, no, I agree. This is a piece of shit. Get down in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. And Robert, would you like to let them know about the other stuff we have going on and possibly tease the next installment?
Ooh, well, like I've already kind of teased already, we're going to be entering the Dan Trachtenberg era. So stay tuned because the next one is going to be Prey. I'm yep, looking forward to doing that one with you. But yes, if you're watching this one and you haven't seen the previous entries in this ranked and review series, go ahead, give those a watch. Let us know where these movies rank for you. We also have our other ranked series like Mission Impossible, Superman, The Conjuring. So if you're a fan of those franchises, go ahead, give those a watch. If there's something you might want us to review and rank, again, get in the comments. Let us know. Chances are it's probably on our long list of series to review and rank. Yes, we have a long list of stuff, but we also have a bunch of other. We have some trailer reactions. We got movies, TV shows, video games. We got some music requests. Again, if that's something you're interested, give those a watch. If you have something you want us to react to, again, drop it in the comments. Let us know. We will not know unless you tell us.
Amen. Thank you, Robert, as always. Much appreciated. And we appreciate y'all for watching. See y'all in the next one.
Just fuck me in the face with an aardvark.